Yo, it's effective immediately. I'm DJ Hed. We got a special guest in the building with us, man. A legend in his own right. A man that I've been meaning to sit down with for many, many moons. We finally, this is damn near a year in the making, but over a decade in the making in real life. A legend out here in these streets. Somebody who I think we all, that's played a role in all of our upcoming, our coming up here in the streets of Los Angeles, Tommy the Clown.
Yes.
Yeah.
DJ Hed, what's up, man?
Hey, bro. You got it.
Woo!
You got it, bro.
I'm here, man.
Sorry, Avery. Thank you for being here, bro. And also, congratulations, bro, just on a legendary career. Like you one of them people who I think you were like the first. I don't want to speak for the person I'm speaking that I'm referencing, but you're like one of the first clowns that somebody wasn't afraid of.
Wow.
Because one of my friends has a clown phobia.
Oh wow.
And this person was like, I fuck with Tommy, and I'm like, that's what's up.
Wow. Man, it's crazy. And I'm glad. If it is what it is, because it has been scary situations for people, and to hear grown folks having that phobia and stuff, it trips me out. But I've been one to try to, when it comes to people and kids and grown folks really having it, I try to ease my way to make it's okay.
Yeah. Hey, bro. So I want to go.
Cool.
I know we got to talk about Battlezone and Battlezone, coming back, and you got a big event, but we gonna get to that.
Gotcha.
We got to go back.
Let's go, man.
Because when did you first fall in love with? Let's start with music before we get to the dance part. When did you first become music is something that I love to this degree that you want to turn it into something?
Young age, born in Detroit, Michigan, and I think watching, I want to say Michael Jackson operate and the music back then, and it's like mimicking moves and mimicking, back in the days of Detroit when we had nothing to do, talent shows and little stuff like that. So I just it's just something that I just started getting into. I listened to the music. Everybody bobbed their head with some good, nice music.
Yeah.
Back in the days, the LL Cool J's, all the just stuff way back, man. I can't think of everything, but it's like music is something that's always been something that make people just vibe.
Yeah. Do you now, as far as the dance part of it, when did that kick in?
Well, I have to say, I want to say that I ain't never been this professional choreographed dancer. My thing has been this one man that started something, and I used dance. Even when I first started, a kid was like, "Clown, you know how to butterfly?" And he showed me, and then I took it and just went crazy with it. Being a youngster and just flipping off cars, using my acrobat, my little skills I had, and it just, I went from there, freestyle. Just was showing up with this character dude. Mm-hmm. People thought I was crazy and bobbing my head with a green 5.0 Mustang,
Green 5.0 Mustang.
Green 5.0 Mustang. I had a cars back in the day. When you get into that wildlife, that drug gang, and then, that stuff where you're selling drugs, you want a high sign on Crenshaw. Yeah. So, I had these nice cars, and I just said, man, let me put that clown image in that nice car. And
when did you first come to L.A.?
Ooh, I can't. Oh man, I was about the age of, I can't remember in the year. I have to do all type of math.
Right.
But at the age of say 11, 12, a good 10, Mama, we was in a poor neighborhood, and Mama, Grandma, that's all we had. Daddy wasn't around, and it's like, Mama said I guess she met somebody in L.A. and then we eventually, flew out there. Me, my sister, my brother, flew out there on the plane. First time on the plane, came to L.A. and moved right in the neighborhood of an infested drug situation, and that's where it all began.
So how were you able to maneuver through the streets, especially during that time, and stay out the way? Or did you get in the way and then got out the way?
I got in the way.
Yeah.
I got all the way in the way.
You got in the way.
My cousin used to come to me and buy me burgers, give me money, and I was like, man, I ain't used to that in Detroit, Michigan. So it became, intriguing, and I was like, man, what's happening? My mama from the beginning said, you don't want to go out there, and I went out, finally came outside and watching the guys move, and when you hang around that surrounding, you become it. And man, did I become it. I became one of the top notches there, hustling, ain't used to nothing, and man, and just running up to the cars and just going crazy. So it was like.
What was the turning point for you to get out of that?
Time, getting in trouble, getting caught. Didn't go to school. I was supposed to be going to Dorsey, Jefferson. Didn't hang in there, and got caught with Judge Dorn. He said,
Judge Dorn. That's
Judge.
how you know it's real when you remember when you remember the judge. And you see him like, yeah, I know what that is.
Inglewood, Judge Dorn.
Inglewood, Judge Dorn.
To this day, he sent me to 9-month minimum Camp Gonzales, and I did my time there, got out, and, still was messing up. You're hanging around, you're still trying to hustle, you don't learn on the first round, So thank God they allowed me to go to, Ventura, do some time and get lost in the L.A. County. And that was my turning point when I did about 4 or 5 years in the system, locked up, just in the system. I finally got out, and I said, man, I got to make a change.
Yeah.
And, I started going to work. I was always a good typist clerk back in, I think, middle school. And so I started working for the L.A. County, and then they fired me because they found out I was locked up. And then, it was wrong. It was a wrongful termination. Then I went to Transamerica, and that's where Tommy the Clown was born. His girl was there, and I went on from there.
So Tommy the Clown was born at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Were you yourself dancing, or because I don't remember? And again, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I never went to a Battlezone when I was growing up, and I always heard about it because I was scared.
Ooh, wow!
I was scared. Well, okay, two things. That's not true. First part, okay, it is partly true.
You scared of clowns?
No, not scared of clowns. I was scared because I was scary growing up.
Gotcha.
I wasn't outside like that until I got older, and I had to go to Compton to spend summers in Compton with my cousin Ian.
Wow.
So I was in the south side of Compton, spending the summers with Ian, and that's where I kind of got rid of being scary to go outside and hang out and stuff like that.
Wow.
But growing up, I never went to Battlezone. We couldn't afford it. Like, it was, it was just whatever it was. Even though it was like $20, $15, I still couldn't afford it. And we had to get a ride over there.
Wow.
And even though y'all did a lot of things to make it accessible for the youth, like y'all did giveaways, y'all did shuttles, like it was a lot that y'all did to make it accessible for us. I just couldn't get over there.
Wow.
So I always, when people would come back to school talking about it, I'd be hot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to go, but I never could get over there. So I guess when you started this thing that became like all of our youth, did you already know what it was going to be when you first came up with it, or who came up with the idea of it?
Your boy right here.
Okay.
Just actually, these girls at my church was doing fun clown things, and they tell me like, yeah, Tommy, we go to a party, we blow the horn, honka honka honka, and pass out balloons and stuff, and it was at my church, and I was like, oh really? And they say, Tommy, you'll be a good clown. And my guys when I was in the gang, in the drug area, they say, act funny. I always crack jokes and stuff. So I tried it, and I said, I'm gonna bring my Mustang, and I'm gonna get inside the Mustang. I'm just gonna bring my skills and music. Y'all use the honka honka horns, but I put music. I put the bumping sounds. I had a car with loud music, the green 5.0 Mustang, and that's I did that first party, and I controlled the whole environment. The parents, the kids. I put up with loud music on the block. Everybody came out the house, and I was by myself. I was just flipping, acting crazy, and there it was right there.
Okay, so that's one part of it. The second part of it would be street dancing. You got Krumping, you got clowning, you got turfing. Like, you got all these different. I guess I would be remiss if I didn't ask this question, and you can answer it however you want to. Who started Krumping?
Okay.
Because there's this whole, like, I don't want to get into it, but there's this whole, like, think piece about it.
Gotcha.
Okay, I want to know from your perspective.
Okay, so I'm going to put it like this. Who started Krumping? Krumping came from me creating clown dancing. Me creating this whole vibe, this whole wavelength, this whole situation of creativity of this one man band creating, putting music with a with colorful clown outfit, with cars with loud music, and captivating people on the street literally by pulling up, jumping out, dancing, freestyle. As now as I built, and now I'm doing this around for about a year straight. I used to go to work, get off at work 3:45, and travel the neighborhood and just pull up on people, jump out dancing, and it became a high to me. You know, this was something, man. It's a high. So now the energy was cold, and I started building people. I got this clown, that clown, this clown, and now we called it clowning. I created Battlezone. I created a academy. I created this whole atmosphere to just bring people into one place and let the energy transform into whatever it transformed to. So it was clowning, clown dancing. You know, people shaking tails and popping cakes, you know, and all type of stuff. And then as we continue to move on, as we get older, we start getting intense with it. Battlezone makes you like, man, I'll destroy you on a dance floor. You ain't nothing to me. And I'll do all type of moves, all type of things. And then we had one place in the academy going crazy before David LaChapelle came in and saw everything. It's like we started saying, man, he getting crump. You know, I heard don't know all the terminology of the world, like I heard Crunk was already out with
South.
Yeah, you know, Crunk. So we just said, man, he get Crump. It's like and then so that it evolved.
Okay.
It's not like no one sit there and say, hey, I'm finna come up with Crump and and you got to do this. No, it took an atmosphere to be built, to be born. It evolved. Clown dancing, which we call it clown dancing because that's what we're doing. If it's stripper dance, if it's this dance, if it's whatever, all I did was say, feel the music, let yourself go. Freestyle.
Yeah.
It's all freestyle. People, they do, and then we take up all styles and put it together and bring it to the battle zone and use different type of music. And so now we in one place and we say, man, he getting crump. So I got all these guys, and then now we all together and we got this. But now we took splits and people left and I had to fire people and stuff. It's like now everybody want to think, you know, because they've been top notch, they've been one timing and they've been doing their thing. So now they want to try to coin like I created crump.
Right.
So
understood. Okay. So that gives me good perspective. So it started with the clown dance and then Crump evolved from that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then when did you start to like create? I don't want to say like create a business out of it, but that's what it became. It became a real business where it's like the thing in LA was to have Tommy come to your birthday party.
Amazing. Man, that's crazy. That's a blessing. And
outside of the battle zone.
Outside. What's funny is I never knew. I always just, I told the kids that roll with me, you know, they listen to me. And then people say, you know, parents say, man, my kid, it's like I was controlling, you know, so me being a positive person, like, so it was tripping me out on how they listen to me. We go to parties, and they got to show up. Y'all got to do good in school. You got to obey your parents. Don't be, if your parent come to me, we got to talk about it. So it's like I ain't never had no business. Went to school, college, and got this business mind. I was excited, man. What's happening? We kids, we clowning, we dancing, we flipping, we you know, and there it is. They started booking me for parties. I remember I was going by myself. I had a little girl at first, charging $60, $70, and then I started building, and you know, and just through our life, it's just like, man, and it's funny because going through the ups and downs, people look at the outside. You know, you got to get inside the book and read what really went on because the struggle was real. And it continued to, you know, to have its ups and downs. And then it's like, but I hung in there. I was like, you know, kept praying, kept staying strong. And it's like I kept at it. And now, man, book Tommy the Clown. Now I got a building. Now I had academy. And I ended up losing that academy. It's just like, and it's a hustle. I've been a hustler. I used to sell drugs back in the days, hustling. I was a hustler, man. And I take my money. Mama said, man, you got to stop doing that. I said, Mama, I'm paying your rent. Like,
right.
You know, so it's like, so it was like, it was crazy. So now I'm building the business. I'm learning as I go. Okay, we got to I could put jumpers and party. I could, you know, and there it is, there, man.
So after that, how long after, I guess, the business is booming, Battlezones is going crazy, did you get approached to do Rize?
Got Academy and you know, so now Clowns is the movement is just doing what it do. Clowns is in it, and then people from artists is Christina Aguilera, artists is Missy Elliott, artists was just calling for these clowns, this energy, this what's happening. I need that. So Christina Aguilera, some of my guys went over there, and David saw, and then found and asked questions. Where all this where is that? Where this energy at? Him and Macy Gray came to the Academy and saw the energy. Battle night, we mixing music, you know, got the music, we speeded it up a little bit, scratching it up in there. And so he saw that energy. We battling, I'm blowing the whistle, we going at it, they jumping off bars. And he said, man, I got to document this, man. And that's when he came. He said, hey, we met, and then boom, you know, he came, and that's when he came, and I introduced him to everybody. Even though we had a split, I still introduced him to some of my top notches, you know. And so, and that's when he said, he was going to name it Clowns in the Hood at first. And then he said, or Crump. And then that's when he came up with Rize, you know. So that's how it happened.
Wow. I never knew that story. Okay. And then you did mention Missy, and I wanted to, some of the music videos that you and your dancers have been featured in is like legendary as well.
Yes,
like man. Missy, I still think to this day, Missy Elliott don't get the credit she deserves.
Wow.
For being, because everybody goes Lil Kim, but everybody misses. They don't think about Missy.
Wow.
But Missy was a pioneer.
Amazing.
When it came to like incorporating dance and theatrics into her videos. But other videos that y'all were in, did you always like? Did you see that for yourself?
Never seen that, and I always tell the crew, the sky's the limit. You know, there's no limit, and we got to be, you know, positive. You know, I make sure y'all can't be active gang members, man.
Fact.
We can't, because we got to be able to go to anywhere, everywhere, at all times. That's what I wanted for my brand, and for the artists to call us, you know, and you know, we and for them to feature our stuff in the music video it became amazing. It became exciting, and I think it even just made, you know, kids want to be a part of this, want to do this, because man, how can I get in the video? How could, you know? And it's amazing. It was off the chain.
Do you think that artists starting to not mimic but incorporate our style of dance into their stuff, like our culture, helps us, or you think it takes away? Because people look at someone like Chris Brown, for instance, who really had a lot of our influence when it came to the way he started to dance in his videos and the way he moved on stage. People started to give him credit for like certain styles and moves and stuff like that. And I remember that being a topic back in the day. Do you think that that's like beneficial, or it works against us, or both?
I think it's beneficial. Reason I say, you know, I don't look, because first of all, dancing, it's all over the place. Music is all over the place, and you got to take greatness and uniqueness and put it on a platform that you want to be great and unique. So I think I look at it like for the exposure, because we're people that's actually in the neighborhood that's, you know, going from door to door, party to party for many, many years. And for now, for artists to even, you know, see this and want this in their you know, in their mixture of their own show, because they can get the regular choreographed dancers that still exists, but to just get this freestyle and I think it just stirred a crump. It became like and the clown atmosphere became like an energy that you could put in your unique world and be the best at it that you can be. You know, if people want to take it and say they started this and did this, I don't got time, and this is just me talking. I don't have, you know, a lot of people want to try to be the king of something and want to be, you know, like they did this, all that. I'm a humble person. They can have that. Like, okay, first of all, they artists, they got music, and we using their music to get off, right. You know, we do the mixture of music. So that's what got us. It's just that we just unique to music. So now they want to take the dance and do, you know, so I don't get caught up in that.
Okay, for sure. Let's fast forward to the pop out.
Wow.
Because I'll give you my perspective, but I want to know, when did you get the call? How did it go? And then where were you at mentally? Like, your frame. Did you know what the pop out was going to end up being culturally, or like, I want to know. Walk me through that.
Wow, DJ Hed, I gotta say, man, as I continue to get older, and having a team of older clowns and youngsters around, it's like I'm not savvy of, I think I don't put my energy into the atmosphere of what's going on when it comes to like battles and beef and stuff like that. But just, they're not like us. We was listening to the song, man, that's a nice song. Then I'm hearing, the beef and situation. Man, really, what's going on? Wow. And I'm not, being, in church all the time, so I don't really get into all the songs and music.
Yeah, for sure.
It takes my crew to keep me up on standards.
Yeah.
So to get a call like that, and for, and it was for the video.
Yeah.
The call was for the video, and for Kendrick to come in and come to my academy and practice and train, and I met him, and he said how I used to come to his school, and people, it's like it tripped me out, and I know songs, be humble, sit down, and I didn't know person like who. Kendrick, like, and then my staff told me that's him, that's Dave Free. I'm like, wow. So we talking, he telling me how I used to be at his party, and they used to run to the gate and stuff. I'm like, man, this is crazy. And so he wanted us in the video. And we came and we did the video, and Sean called us, let us know who Kendrick wanted us, and it was like, man, we got it. Man, we there, man. What's happening? And so we did it. And then I got a phone call from, and for the pop-out situation. And I'm like, like what we, is it at the forum? What, we doing our own piece? Like,
Yeah.
So it tripped me out. I told my crew, I said, man, we finna do, we got to come with it, man. We got to, man, I don't know what's happening, but man, and it was amazing. And seeing you and how you introduce us, like you, I said, man, I'm like, man, it all blew me away.
That's what's up, bro. No, I appreciate that.
Man. I ain't gonna even lie.
I just wanted, because
my God,
when the Not Like Us video dropped, we see you before we see him.
Ooh.
I just want to point that out. You know what I'm saying? So
wow.
Like, you a part of history in a different way. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
On multiple levels. Not only just the pop out. When they told me that you were going to be a part of my set, I was like, hell yeah, I'm honored.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I'm saying? Let's do that. And
man.
Then seeing that video, because I didn't know. Nobody knew. Everything was on the hush.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know you was in the video or nothing. Nobody said nothing. Everybody was backstage like, I don't know what's going on. Everybody didn't know what was going on. But yeah, speaking of which, man, I do want to talk about Tommy the Clown presents West Coast Showdown, Battlezone. It's back.
Ooh,
December 13th, Saturday, December 13th.
Yes.
Talk about it.
Man, it's going to be our West Coast Showdown. It's about to go down. We bringing 3 different areas. It's about to throw down: Vegas, Palmdale, and L.A. And it's funny. We got now that it trips me out because clowns it's all over the world. People people are still trying to have their kids to be a part. And that's what I did from the beginning. Mm-hmm. Man, y'all come with y'all crew. So we got out of Vegas, we got Now That's Clown that's represent Vegas, and Palmdale is Helen Squad, and then we gonna rep the LA, my squad,
yeah.
T Squad. So we just got going down at Centennial High School. It's gonna be just the Battlezone 3-way situation. It's a West Coast throwdown. We having judges, and we just gonna come bring the energy like we always do. We didn't do it. I think it's been about a year or so, and we just want to keep these kids into something. You always say you want teenagers and kids to change. You got to give them something to do. So by me continuing to put on these little platforms, these little zones, it gives them something to do.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get some tickets to give away?
Yes, I would love to give some tickets for y'all to give away, man. And man,
can I get like me like 10 tickets, like 5 sets? Can I get like 5 sets?
Man, let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Yeah, we gonna give it away on our YouTube page. We gonna come up with a creative way for people to win these tickets. If you are in the LA area or in Southern California, or you're gonna be in the Southern California area, December 13th. That's a Saturday. Centennial High School in the city of Compton. If you want to go to Battlezone, the West Coast Showdown, we're gonna have information for that on the next episode. And I'm gonna come up with a dope, creative way to get these tickets away, so you can go see Tommy and T Squad tear things down on the West Coast Showdown, man. And you know what, bro? Like, for real though, like, thank you, bro, for your contributions. Like, I remember seeing you cry in Rize, and I was like, oh, this is mean a lot to him.
Yes,
like,
sir.
you know, and I'm the chairman of the board for the Boys and Girls Club for the Media Advisory Council for the entire Metro LA district. And I know what it means when somebody trusts you with their kids.
Wow.
And I take that very serious. You know what I mean? Like, when somebody leave their kids with you, that's like the highest honor that I could think of. And you've been doing this shit for decades. So, you know, thank you.
You are so welcome, man.
For not being a weirdo and a creep.
Oh, come on.
Thank you, bro.
You are so
not that you need to be thanked for that, but it's scary. It's spooky.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
They exist.
Yeah. But thank you, bro. Tommy the Clown is here,
Thank
man. The
you,
West
Lord.
Coast Showdown. We're going to give away some tickets shortly. It's effective immediately.